Hello, ho, ho, darlings. Welcome to STreat, where I show you how to make easy, tasty, and cheap treats. I'm your host, Edna Luncheonette. Today's recipe comes from the movie Still Magnolias. We have a very special treat we're making from Queen Dolly herself. Truvy's Cuppa 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 recipe.
Where's the other one you were talking about? Cuppa Cuppa Cuppa.
Oh, that's simple. You don't need to write that down. That's a cup of flour, a cup of sugar, a cup of fruit cocktail with the juice, and you mix and bake at 350 till golden bubbly.
Sounds awfully rich.
It is. So I serve it over ice cream to cut the sweetness.
But instead of canned fruit cocktail, we're gonna use canned peaches because I've done this with fruit cocktail before and I was not a fan, but I do like easy and cheap cobblers, specifically peach cobblers, so that's what we're doing. Alright, you're gonna need some self-rising flour, some granulated sugar, 2 cans of regular peaches, some butter, some milk, some non-cooking sticking spray, mixing bowl, your baking dish, and of course, a measuring cup. Then we're gonna preheat the oven to 350 degrees, coat your baking dish with a non-stick cooking spray, and you're gonna empty both cans of peaches and then dump them in your baking dish. Measure out 2 cups of milk, 2 cups of flour, a cup and a half of granulated sugar. And then you're gonna stick that whole stick of butter in your measuring cup and melt it in the microwave. Then you're gonna mix everything together in your mixing bowl, and you wanna stir well till it's all blended and nice and looks like glue or cum or something. After you have everything mixed up all nice and cummy, you're gonna dump it on top of the peaches that are already sitting in your mixing bowl. And remember, like Dolly said, you're including the juice from the canned peaches. Well, she said cocktail, but in this case we're using canned peaches. Then you're gonna mix it all around in your baking dish, or I guess you could do this in a mixing bowl as well, but I prefer to do it in the baking dish. Now, I've doubled up the recipe here. If you're just doing a cup at a time, you can cook this for about 30 minutes, but with my recipe, you're gonna wanna go about 45 to 50 minutes, depending on your oven. 30 minutes with my recipe should be looking like this, and I put it back for another 20 minutes. After it's done baking, it should look something like this, and you're ready to cut and serve it. Like Dolly suggested, you can serve it with ice cream, or you can even use some heavy cream or milk. I prefer to go raw dog and just eat my Cuppa Cuppa Cobbler like it is. And I have the finished product right here. So we're gonna try it now. Tasty! Well, that was today's easy treat. Thanks for tuning in. God bless, and hail Santa. STreat with Edna Luncheonette is a production of the Children's Television Workshop. Brought to you by viewers like you. Thank you. You know, easy, tasty, and cheap was my nickname when I was in lunch lady college.